quiet, please. Gosh, shh. Film's about to start.
Hello world, welcome to Drew's Reviews, and today's film we'll be discussing Until Dawn. Directed by David F. Sandberg, is a supernatural horror adaptation of the 2015 video game of the same name. Rather than retelling the game's story, the movie introduces a new narrative set within the same universe, expanding upon its mythology. I'm gonna cut right to the chase, guys. I did not enjoy my experience with this film.
What?
No,
we just started.
No.
The story was so bland, and the whole premise of this movie is that these teenagers get stuck in this house and they have to last at the house until dawn, hence the title. And every time they die, the day starts over and they have to survive until dawn all over again. That's pretty much the basics of the whole premise. But from the trailers, it looks so much more entertaining and so much more interesting. But watching it, wow, what a drag. Just all the characters were so mindless, and I was just rolling my eyes at every decision they would make and wondering, why did they write this movie and direct this movie the way that they did?
We do not care.
From the trailers, I thought it was going to be something completely different. At least that's what it looked like. But that could just be on the people that made the trailer, because they suckered me into watching this movie. It was such a nothing experience. Right when I got up, I was just like, that could have been way better than what it turned out to be. What a disappointment. It got so bad to the point where one section of the film, they just stopped doing what everybody came to see the movie for. We came to the movies to see the kills. That's pretty much what this movie is all about. I haven't played the game, but if you play the game, you're pretty much dying all the time. Again, it's not the same exact plot as the game, but I thought it was just going to be a lot more creepy, and some of the shots from the trailer I thought were going to be full scenes, but in the movie nothing happened. Again, it got so bad to the point where they just had a character just showing like a montage of all the things that happened. But read the room, we want to see that take place. I don't want to see a montage of this happening. I want to actually see these things going on throughout the plot. So it was just very lazy to me in that regard, and what they decided to focus on was just so boring and uninspired. There are so many good horror movies with good takes and really well executed kills, and at the same time it has a plot that you can follow and that is interesting, and this was just a waste of time. I do have some positives. The CGI was done really well for the most part. The beginning of the movie was really well done, even though it was still very cliche, with the teenagers going on a trip and they stop at a gas station and the old guy says, "I wouldn't go that way," and then they still do, and all types of buffoonery ensues. But the beginning showed me that, oh, there's promise here. Even with the cliches, I was still pretty locked in up to that point. And then right when it hit the midpoint of the second act of the film, it just went downhill from there. The plot was just so convoluted. I really didn't enjoy myself. I'm getting back into negatives and I'm supposed to be talking about positives here. Anyway, the monsters were pretty cool. The special effects and the practical effects were really well done. In some parts where individuals' legs were exploding, it really looked like their leg was exploding. And this is kind of a negative positive, but I hated the teenagers so much in this film that I enjoyed watching them die.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Although I like some films that do have that aspect where you just have a whole bunch of crappy teenagers and they all get murked by some psychopath with a knife because they were doing some crazy activities, and the viewer is just like, oh man, I can't wait until these people get killed.
Stop it.
Get some help.
Or at least those movies were done on purpose like that. But for this film, I feel like they weren't trying to make you dislike the characters, except one. They tried to make like the jockey boyfriend guy kind of the jerk in the film, but it was some parts I was agreeing with him. And the acting, it was okay, I guess. There wasn't nothing crazy about the acting. There was nobody that was really terrible, but also nobody that stood out. It was just a kind of by the numbers horror movie. So yeah, I walked out of this film really disappointed. The trailers again looked really great, but at the end of it, it's just one that's going to be lost underneath all the other really terrible horror movies. I'm going to give Until Dawn a 4 out of 10. The only reason it's not any lower is because again, the CGI, the monsters, and the prosthetics were all really well done. I wish I didn't have to see movies like this, but man, when trailer companies put together these trailers and make them look so interesting and you really get pulled in and enticed, and then you go see the movie and it's just terrible. It's just such a sucky experience, but what can you do about it except forget? Thank you for tuning in to my review of Until Dawn. Please like, subscribe, and let me know down in the comments, what's the worst horror movie you've seen? I would love to hear your thoughts. And in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.